Okay. Christina Hutt, thank you for joining me today. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. So you were telling me before we started recording that this is your first time performing in her Northern Voice, but also your first time performing in Sudbury. Where do you normally perform? Where can people find you?
Yes, it's going to be my first time in Sudbury performing, and I perform a lot in the Muskoka area. I'm branching out as an artist a little bit more every year. So I've played in Toronto a few times, and in Barrie and Aurelia, and I play in Bala, Port Carling, and so this is really exciting. So
Yeah,
branch out a little bit. So
whole new group of people to
yeah,
perform.
whole new audience, which is
Yeah.
great.
So what can people expect when they come to see you?
They're gonna expect to hear some like country bluesy soul. And I'm coming with my soul sister Trisha Foster, who's an amazing vocalist, and she sings amazing harmonies and plays bass. And we're gonna have an electric guitar player with us. Unfortunately, the one we were my good friend Graham Powell that was coming is not able to make it. So I'm in the process today of looking for guitar player.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're just gonna they'll see some great chemistry and some they'll probably hear some older country vibe style music, but also some new original stuff that I write. And yeah, I'm a little bit eclectic, so I kind of have a hard time pinpointing what genre I am. So I say
Mhm.
like country bluesy soul is what to expect.
Great. So who were some of your influences then that have brought you to where you are right now with your eclectic sound?
Patsy Cline is
Ah,
a
yeah,
big
yeah.
influence, and I'm actually doing a Patsy Cline tribute show right now. We just did two sold out shows. We've had four sold out shows with the Patsy Cline tribute show. So um, uh, she was definitely a big influence when I was growing up. And oh man, like Tina Turner, Etta James, Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen. Just my parents listened to a big, wide variety of music. And so I was really grateful. I'm really grateful for that because I don't think otherwise I would have listened to all
Mhm.
of that kind of, and it became part of it just became part of me. So yeah.
So with all of those different artists, I can see why you have an eclectic sound. I think it's
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
How long have you been performing?
I've been performing for 8 years. But the first couple of years were very slow. I started pursuing my music later in life. But so I kind of just started, I could barely play the guitar. I hadn't written a song 8 years ago. So I kind of like to when I'm performing, I like to acknowledge that like when you keep your dreams alive, because I represent the woman. I suppressed my passion for a lot of
Mhm.
my life, and and it's all for a reason. I learned a lot, and that was the path that I was meant to take. But I came back to that calling, and and I did a lot of healing work in the process, and then music started to come out. And every time I would step out of my comfort zone and go on the stage, something like profoundly big steps would happen, and I knew it was the right path. Um, so I'm not sure what your question was. I kind of went off.
No,
I went
I
off
love
there.
your answer. I love hearing stories like that. And I think it's so perfect that you're part of the Northern Voice this year. Um, I think that's going to speak to the audience, just even without telling any part of your story. It's going to speak through your music and speak through you. Uh, what are you looking forward to most about being part of Northern Voice this year?
Well, I love I was really drawn to her Northern voice because
Mhm.
I really love supporting women, especially in the music industry, well, in any industry, but
Mhm.
I've had my fair share of, unfortunately, the challenges women face in the industry. And in general, it's a hard industry for musicians. But I'm looking forward to meeting some other female artists and of course performing with my band
Yeah.
uh and I mean, I'm always excited to perform, and I'm always excited to perform to a new audience because have such a beautiful foundation and community in my hometown. But it's always nice to just, yeah, to see some new faces and I love meeting new musicians. So I'm really
Well,
looking forward to it.
you're going to meet a lot this week. So you have two performances, both are on Sunday. One is at Nowhere Public House, the other one is at Grace Hartman Theater. The times can be found at sudburyperformance.ca. But Christina, thank you so much for talking with me and sharing a little bit about your journey. Uh, I just, I think you're fantastic, and your presence at the festival is just going to make it that much better. So thank you for being
Oh,
part of it.
oh, you're so welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.